One of my favorite memories as a kid was when my mom would give me my dinosaur chicken nuggets in my room because it was time for Fetch with Ruffman on PBS Kids Go. When new episodes would air, my mom would let me eat dinner in my room so that I could watch it. It was my favorite show at the time, and I always wanted to be on the show. I remember going onto the website and playing games, reading blogs, and imagining that Ruff was a real person who was looking for kids to be on the show. Welcome to Childhood Unlocked, where I help you remember and appreciate the art of children's media. I'm actually going to move this over here. Voiced by Jim Conroy, Ruffman was a dog who hosted a game show on PBS Kids Go, where a group of 8 kids would compete in challenges that stemmed from science, math, and engineering. This show was funded by the
National Science Foundation.
So science-forward challenges and lessons were a huge part of the show. I remember that there was a challenge where fetchers, the contestants on the show, went to a zoo and guessed which animal was which based on the size of the poop. That is just good television. I also learned that a toilet seat, if cleaned properly, has less bacteria than a house phone, which not very many people use a house phone now, but we'll substitute that with cell phone. That still works. I also learned that Pluto is a planet, and I still believe that Pluto is a planet, and you're all just leaving him out because he's small and farther away. You gotta give him a break. In creating the iconic character of Ruff, the lead animator, Matthew Shard, said that Ruff may be a dog, but he's not a cliche. He's a reality TV producer, but he's also a New England dog. He's witty, sarcastic, and sharp, and the kids are his buds. The team creating Ruff went through almost 100 designs until deciding on one last scribble. Shard said it was the last one, and it was a doodle someone had tucked away on the corner of a page. The senior producer loved that one, and we fleshed out the final design based on that drawing. Ain't that always the way? Fetch was produced by WGBH, which is still making Ruffman content to this day. Ruff is now dipping his paws into being a content creator, and he's doing a podcast of sorts where he interviews business owners and people who work from home. He actually just interviewed Shreya, who was a season 5 contestant and is now a data engineer working in information risk management, which is like, whoa, I knew these kids were smart, but goodness, of course, Shreya works in a huge role with a super long name that sounds super smart. This is not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to talking about Fetch. Fetch with Ruffman was an incredibly detailed show where you could see the love for the kids and the love of teaching in every aspect of its creation. From the world building to the sets to the very convincing conversations the kids would have with Ruff to the challenges, this show was and still is one of the greatest children's shows ever made, in my opinion. In Childhood Unlocked, I will be ranking these kids shows based on my personal opinion. So with Ruff, I'm putting that at S because I do think that Ruffman is the epitome, is the blueprint of children's education. PBS has some good ones, and Ruffman was one of those good ones. Thank you so much for watching me, and remember, if you would like to see more of this content, please follow me to see what I do next. I'll see you next time. Bye.